So you might find yourself in a place in your life right now where you have just broken up with a narcissist. But instead of celebrating and feeling free and feeling happy that you're safe, you're actually feeling down. And your emotions are all over the place. You miss them. And your mind is ruminating and thinking about what it is that they're doing now. Are they thinking about me? Did they find someone else? And most importantly, why aren't they calling me back? Why aren't they seeking out contact? Why are they rejecting me? So that feeling of rejection is actually really dangerous to give into during this time. The reason why is because it makes you vulnerable to even going out and contacting them, right? After everything you've done and all the struggle you've been through, to now go back and reestablish contact just because you're feeling bad is not the wise thing to do. And a lot of us do it, right? A lot of us do it. Sometimes we need several cycles of abuse in order for us to finally understand what's going on, right? And if you've been through this up and down roller coaster, your body has been entrained to feeling the high or the beginning of the high after a crash. And if you've called it quits, if you walked away or maybe they walked away, you are now in this bottom pit and there is no possibility of another up. So this can feel crushing, I understand, but you need to bring your mind online, your rational mind online, and keep reminding yourself why it is that you did what you did, that you essentially protected yourself from a person who could have destroyed you and could have destroyed your life entirely. This happens. So this is a time to really seek out your own validation as opposed to a validation of the person that you just ran away from. So what I want to talk to you about in this video are two things. The first thing, most important thing, is changing your mindset around rejection and the idea that you've been not hoovered or you've been even blocked by the narcissist. And secondarily, I want to tell you, give you some possibilities, some possible scenarios as to why you're not being hoovered. But that's not that important. So I wanted to put it at the end because what you should be really doing is thinking about you and focusing your attention on you. There is a reason why it's a cliche, right? Why we say what you focus your attention on grows, because it really does. And if you are putting your attention on your oppressor and the person who is very destructive influence in your life, who tried to isolate you, who was criticizing you, who was a threat to your self-esteem, who constantly put you down, who was essentially a destructive force, who lied to you incessantly, then you're going to be growing that part of your mind, you're going to be growing that garden. And I want you to be putting really nurturing seeds in your garden that will sprout and yield dividends on your investment, to use financial lingo, because that's essentially what happens. What you put your attention on grows. So I want you to be focusing on your future, on your passion, on your mission in life, and even on little things like, reestablishing or re-engaging with friends that maybe, were there for you, but because of this relationship, that connection withered away. Maybe there was something that you loved to do. Maybe you wanted to act. Maybe you wanted to write a song or write a book. Maybe you wanted to change a career or learn a new language or visit another country or move to another country. We need to actually put these goals into action if we want our life to change and get better. If we put our attention on the narcissist, we're going to make that part of our mind get bigger. And so the next time around, when the next day comes, and you might be wondering, why am I not moving on? Why am I not healing? It could very well be because the previous day you spent most of it thinking about the narcissist, pacing up and down your room and, thinking about writing them a message. which is not the wise thing to do. So the mindset is really, really important. And what's really also important is to think about validation and think about self-worth, and understand that if you are looking to have your self-esteem and self-worth inflated by a person who's a destructive liar and cheater, who is using people for their own purposes and then discarding them like pieces of used up stuff that they no longer need, then there's an error in that thinking. You see, there's a big critical fallacy we're dealing with. And I understand that, again, for the emotional mind, it can be difficult to make such fast progress. So I want to give you a tool right now as to what you can do and engage in to help yourself. But that doesn't mean that the solution is in retreating and backtracking and coming back to the narcissist so that you can feel better. You may feel better for a moment. You may feel that dopamine hit when they text you back and they tell you, oh, I've been missing you too, and can we meet up, and and all that. You may feel better, but I guarantee you that next time you experience the crash, you're gonna feel worse. It's going to add another layer to your healing, because you have just, again, surrendered your sense of self-worth into the hands of somebody who is not gonna care for it. They're gonna throw it away. The next opportunity that they feel like they just are either bored, or they don't want to be around you anymore, or you did something to make them feel bad, and they're gonna throw it in your face, or it's very possible that they already have another source of supply. So here you are meeting with them again, and now they're leaving to be with the other person. I mean, it's just the crushing feelings that the terror and the horror you're putting yourself through is just not worth it for that quick little fix, And again, there's another cliche, things that are, worth living for take a lot of work. I probably butchered it, but you get the idea, is that nothing that's of value comes easy. So what's of value here is is you changing your life, is you working on yourself, and that is going to pay off in the long run, but it doesn't happen overnight. It takes practice. So don't care. I want you to come to a place where you completely don't care what the narcissist is doing, because that's the point, right? To care about what they're doing is completely beside the point. It's completely going in the wrong direction. So, and it could be also the reason why you got into the relationship in the first place is because you valued their opinion more than you valued your own, and you allowed them to undermine your own sense of reality, sense of truth, and also to sabotage your intuitive instincts. So this could be also the reason. So you want to now take proactive steps, not just preventative, but also proactive steps to not get into that situation again. So the practice I would like to recommend that you do is you journal every day, every morning, for about 20 or 30 minutes. You can set your alarm and write down anything and everything that's going through your mind, stream of consciousness. It could be one sentence for 3 pages. It could be, punctuation after every word. It doesn't matter. It's not about grammar. You're not going to read this again. You're likely going to throw away that page and burn it, and discard it. Because it's just you. This is a place for you to just dump your feelings and your thoughts on the page, and that may stimulate your emotions and an emotional purging and a catharsis, which would be great, because after that you're going to feel much better. And having done that at a specific time in your day, ideally in the morning, to clear the slate, you're not going to come back to this until the next day. So the rest of the day you're going to be actively working on being present and mindful in your life to whatever it is that you're doing. That's going to help you over a period of a couple of months to make significant progress away from this person. And of course, you need to maintain very strong no contact boundary, because if you're looking out at what it is that they're doing, are they seeing another girl or a guy, are they posting any pictures, that's not no contact. that is you seeking out contact. Actually, that's you shooting yourself in the foot. So you don't want to do that. You want to pull your attention away from the narcissist and put it on yourself, and use this emptiness as an empty canvas to paint the vision for your future and work through, you know, any residue of emotions on yourself. So that's what I'd like you for you to do, and commit to it for a month or two, and you'll feel significantly better. Now, to answer the question why it is that they are not hoovering me, or now why did they block me, and the idea came to my mind that now there's so much information on narcissist tactics online that they're probably watching it, and so this could be just part of their game, you know, that they're blocked you because they are already anticipating that you're going to be probably blocking them, right? So they want to be the first ones to do it. Another reason could be that they already have somebody else that's in their life, and they're putting all of their attention onto them. Another reason could be that you've exposed them so much, and you've been so good at keeping no contact, that it was just too much work for them, so they're not going to bother. And it also could be that, again, your boundaries were so strong that you didn't notice them hoovering. So, you know, they could be knocking on your door, but because you put the door somewhere else and you put a wall there, there's no way for them to get in, which is a good thing. So I want you to think about no hoovering and even them blocking you as them doing you a favor. Because again, during this time, we're very vulnerable. We may want to seek out contact because we want to feel better, but we're going about it in the wrong way. So they're helping us in that sense. The fact that they haven't gotten in touch with you during the first few weeks, few months, that doesn't mean that they'll never will. So again, I don't want this to be consolation, because again, I don't want you to tie up your sense of self-worth and validation to this person ever again anymore. But this happens, you know, after years, 10 years, 20 years even, people report having been hoovered. And, you know, to think that, well, you know, this person is now different, they've changed, that's another fallacy of thinking, because it's not the case. Once a narcissist, always a narcissist. Very difficult for them to change. They may be better at their tactics, and better at hiding, but that doesn't mean that at their core they've changed. It's a personality disorder. It's not some part of them that needs work. It's even easier to get out of a mental health crisis and mental illness than it is to change a personality. Personality is pretty hardwired. It goes through us all the way into our core. So again, they may change their behavior a little bit, but that does not mean that they are different. And sometimes, you know, they can be very clever and wait until the storm comes down, until you forget, because there's this, you know, this thing that the brain does, that it makes us sort of forget about all the damage that they have done. And you know, they know this intuitively. They can read you, they can feel you. They're very in tune with what other people are up to for some reason. Well, and I know the reasons, because it's contingent. Their survival is contingent upon it. They need to know what other people are doing, what they're thinking, what they're feeling, so that they can act in a way to manipulate them. So they're experts on that. So they can kind of sense, you know, when you're in that place where you sort of got over the pain, when you're at this stage in your recovery, when you're ready to forget about what they had done to you, and that's when they swoop in, and then they feel like, oh yeah, she's over it, or he's over it, and now I can come in and you know, we can do chapter 2. So be careful, be really careful, and don't fall for this. Don't fall for this, because it may just end up, you know, setting you back years. So do your journaling every day. Focus on you. Focus on goal setting. Focus on visualizing your future, and moving into the direction that you want to move in. And just don't care about what it is that they're doing. It really, really doesn't matter. Okay, I hope this was helpful. I look forward to your comments. And if you need additional help in moving forward, I have a 12-week course on my website. You just go to www.mysoulgps.org. Information's down below, and it's on the homepage. It's called Unchained, and it's about helping you unchain yourself from the trauma bond that you may feel after having left, this damaging relationship. And we have many different steps of recovery and tools I share there. I basically put everything into this course that has helped me heal. So now it's my gift to you. Thank you so much again for your support, for your attention. I hope this was helpful. I look forward to hearing from you, and I'm sending you lots of love. Bye-bye.